everybody, Dr. Rory Stern here of ADHDFamilyOnline.com, and right now I want to talk to you about labels, and I want to talk to you about the dangers of labels. And yes, I am talking about the diagnosis of ADHD being a very dangerous label. Let me tell you a story. There has been research around long before I was even in grade school, okay? So this has been around 20, 30 plus years. Very well known, very factual, backed up, lots of evidence. And here's what we know. If you walk into a classroom and you tell a teacher, Susie is a very bright student, she's a superstar, she's going to do great things in this world, that teacher has an idea from the get-go about who Susie is, what Susie needs, and what she's going to do in the classroom. Okay, we're setting an expectation. We know that teachers are going to respond to that. At the same time, you go to the same teacher and you say over here, Mary is really a behavioral problem. She talks out of turn all the time. She can't sit still. Really just giving a lot of people, a hard time. That same teacher is going to take that information, is biased already, and is going to treat Mary that way. Okay? She's going to treat Mary like a behavioral problem. She's going to treat Mary differently than she is Susie. She's going to give her different opportunities. We know that, but yet we continue to do it. We continue to set the expectation. We continue to build and develop what's called a self-fulfilling prophecy. For example, if you have an anxiety or a fear or a reputation of the holidays always being bad, and you go into the holidays thinking they're going to be stressful, it's going to come true because you're paying attention and you're waiting for the stress to happen. You're not paying attention to the positives. You're not paying attention to all the fun that's being had. You are instead sitting there waiting for that other shoe to drop to see the bad. And it's the same thing with how we set up kids. So that's why labels are dangerous. Now, on a more personal note, I can tell you firsthand what labels can do. Because you see, when I was in grade school, this goes back to kindergarten, there wasn't a lot of talk about ADHD. In fact, I actually was pulled out of the classroom and tested and identified as a gifted and talented student. Do you know what that did for me, for what that did for my self-esteem, my confidence, and my ego? I was given every opportunity. My creativity, my passion that often people think of as hyperactivity, I was given an opportunity to express that, to develop that, to grow that, and it was accepted and people saw it in a good way. Okay? Same thing happens if we look at somebody and label them with ADHD. We think about, for some reason, all the negative things, the hyperactivity, the inattention, the behavioral problems, the boredom, the blurting out, the talking out of turn, not getting homework done. These labels are dangerous. Even the positive one for me of being gifted. Maybe you have a gifted child as well. It's a double-edged sword. These labels are good and they're bad, but what happens is if you have a positive spin, it's going to be more good than it is bad, and if you have a negative label like ADHD, it's going to be more negative, more bad than it is good. And I don't want to see you get set up that way. I don't want to see you fall. There's enough at stake already. There's enough difficulty. There's enough challenges going on that we don't need these labels. So what am I saying? Don't needlessly or don't be misguided to label a child without real clear evidence and support of what's going on. Number two, once you have that diagnosis, get rid of the label. We have talked time and time and time again here, guys, about focusing on the behavior, focusing on differences, accepting differences, understanding differences. That's what I want to emphasize right now. Get rid of those labels. They're dangerous, whether they're good or bad. They set up expectation and they dictate outcome. Bottom line. So be careful of labels, even if it's good, even if it's bad. Focus on what you need to be focusing on, which is support, love, encouragement, nourishment, nurturance, if that's a word, and really give your children, give your loved ones the opportunity they need and deserve to shine. I'll catch you next time, everybody. Take care.